All right. So next, we're going to talk about something cool called bundles. Bundles are a way, and in fact, if you've used QuickBooks Desktop, you might be used to these. They're called group items in Desktop, but here they're called bundles, and you can check them out. Go over to Sales, Products and Services, and essentially a bundle is a way for you to group items together. Now, it's not really you manufacturing something, so it's not something that you would use if you were to assemble an end product. Like if I sell tables, and I've got four legs and then a tabletop, that's an assembly, you know. That's not really what we're talking about with a group item. A group item are the things that you sell individually, but you also sometimes sell as a group as well. So in that case, like we sell a door and we might also sell a doorknob and some locks, but we don't always. Sometimes we sell those things by themselves. So that would be more of a group item. So in here, for instance, we sell a rock fountain. We also sell a pump for that rock fountain, but we also sell them individually. And then we also sell or charge people for installation of that rock fountain as sort of like a full package or individually. So that would be really the situation where you would use a bundle. The advantage is that once you fill out a bundle, you only have to select one item instead of three. And also you can choose what it is that your customer eventually sees whenever you print out the invoice. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and build a new bundle with exactly that. It'll have the rock fountain, the pump, and the installation. So I'm going to choose bundle right here. We'll call this rock fountain full package. Description. So it is important for you to enter its own description because potentially it's not going to contain the descriptions of the individual items itself. So it's going to have its own description. So for us, this will be, let's see, rock fountain, pump, and installation fees. Now, this is where we fill out all the different parts. So we'll choose rock fountain as the first part, quantity of 1. Second part will be the pump. It takes 1 pump, and then installation. So we'll choose that. But it takes 3 hours of installation. It's a complicated thing. Now, what's great about this is that in the old days, back before I filled out that bundle, I had to go in here and I had to choose rock fountain. Whoops. Makes it even worse. All right, rock fountain, installation labor, put 3 in there, and then I had to put in pump. And then whenever I eventually send out this invoice, they're going to see 3 lines. They're going to see all this. When really, I just want them to see the rock fountain. I don't want to make it, too complex for people. But now that I have that group item, I'm going to put in rock fountain, choose the rock fountain full package. And what's great about this is that we can see this detail, right? We see all of this stuff. But whenever I go to printer preview, oh, I got to put in a customer. There we go. Let's take a look at this. They're just going to see that one line. So they don't need the itemized explanation. And a lot of people use bundles, not just for bundling products together, but also for limiting what it is that they show and don't show on invoices. Because there's really no other way to do it. If you put something onto an invoice or onto a sales receipt, it's going to show up unless you use a bundle. Then you can pick and choose. And so that's a lot of power to have that. But another thing that's very powerful is that right in here, if I put in, say, 3 rock fountains, it then knows to multiply all of this stuff for me. So it figures all that stuff out. What's great about this too is that whenever I go to run sales reports, it's going to have this number right on there. So we'll see all the details. So now I'm going to go ahead and send that off. And by the way, you can choose to show the details um, right over here where we set up that rock fountain. If we go over to the rock fountain full package, notice right here, if you check off this box, it will actually show the components. So if you want people to see it, they can, but you don't have to, which is really nice. And then Joan wrote, can you discount the bundles? Yes. And whenever you're filling out that transaction, this invoice, for instance, you still have all of the same controls that you normally would for all of the different components. You can change the rates, the amounts of all of the different parts. You can still apply a discount at the bottom. And then on top of all that, we're also going to talk about, in fact, it'll be the very next subject. We're going to talk about price rules. And the price rules will also affect the constituent parts, the little bits and bobs that go into it, right? So yes, the answer is yes, in all sorts of different ways. So that's a good question. And in fact, that's going to bring me over to my next thing. So bundles are a way for you to speed up the process of recording transactions, to control what it is that your customers can and cannot see on an invoice. But there's another thing that can help you out with invoices as well, and that is price rules. Price rules are basically a way for you to set up automatic discounts or automatic price increases if you want to adjust the price that way based upon the type of customer or based upon the products and services that you're selling. Now, before I dive into price rules, I do want to point out that on the customers list, there was a really sneaky update that they made, I guess about a year ago, where they integrated something called customer types. And not everybody has seen this yet, so I always point it out. And trust me, it is tied into the whole price rules thing. We'll get to that in a moment. So we've got customer types. So basically, this is where we can assign, or we can come up with a list of the different types of customers we have. What's a type of customer? Well, that's kind of up to you to figure out. It is completely arbitrary what a customer type is. Some businesses use customer type to basically keep a list of how they got that customer. So did they come through a referral? Did they come through a search engine? Things like that. That could be a customer type. Customer type could be new construction versus remodeling if you're in the construction trade. It could be anything you want to. It's anything that you want to be able to compare different groups of customers to each other. And it's also different ways for you to create different pricing structures for customers too. So it's very valuable. You just have to come up with a way to use it and to implement it. Now, this is totally arbitrary. You know, whenever you set these up, maybe we've got customers that are residential. We got customers that are commercial. And then we've got nonprofit customers. And maybe we have slightly different prices for those different types of customers. That's one way to do it, right? Now, the reason why I bring this up is that later on, whenever we do the price rules, there's an option for us to come up with different price rules for those customer types. So that's why I wanted to introduce this first. Now, whenever you set up customer types, it's really easy for you to assign those types to customers. All you have to do is go onto the customers list, check off the names of the people that you want to assign to a type, and then select customer type. And then we can tell QuickBooks, you know, what these customers are. There's even a way for you to add a column onto here for the customer type. So it's pretty cool. And you can run sales by customer type as well, all that stuff. So, I just saw a little question come up, which is all this is for plus or advanced. So the only feature that was for advanced is the automated workflows. Good question, Helvia. This is for, I believe, Online Essentials and Plus. I think it's for both. And I don't think that Simple Start has this, but this is not an advanced only feature. The only advanced only feature is advanced workflows. That's it.